Good afternoon. My name is Muhammad Adil Khan. My student ID is 230410886. The case we are discussing today is that Priya works as an administration assistant for a large bus company, Speedy Bus Limited, based in Luton. She enjoys driving, and when SB Limited advertised for drivers, she applied. She passed in all of the assessment in flying colors, but in face-to-face interview she was rejected, and she was discriminated. One of the panelists commented that mothers never stay with the company and asked Priya whether she was thinking of having any children. As she was shown out, one of the managers, Andy, patted Priya on the bottom, which she found very upsetting. Priya complained about Andy's behavior to her line manager, who told her that if she took matters further, she would never get a reference if needed one. Priya, an administration assistant with the aspirations of becoming a bus driver within the same company, is a qualified candidate and with a commercial driving license and a defensive driving course under her belt. Despite facing discriminatory comments and inappropriate behavior during her interview process, which violated the Equality Act 2010 by creating a hostile and degrading environment based on her sex, Priya remains undeterred. Her determination to overcome these obstacles and pursue her career goal underscores the importance of enforcing anti-discrimination laws and maintaining a respectful and inclusive hiring process in organizations. First, I would like to talk about the legal issues in this case. Based on the material, discrimination in employment can manifest through various actions such as direct or indirect discrimination based on gender or family status. This might involve treating an individual less favorably due to their sex or responsibilities as a parent, contrary to the protection outlined under statutes like the Equality Act 2010. Sexual harassment during the interview process, such as unwelcome sexual advances or comments, is also prohibited under this act. Harassment can create a hostile and intimidating environment and is defined broadly to include unwanted conduct of a sexual nature that affects the dignity of the individual involved. Furthermore, the victimization occurs when an individual is treated unfairly for complaining about discrimination or harassment, which is explicitly covered under the same legal frameworks, ensuring protection for those who raise concerns about inappropriate behavior. This comprehensive legal sheet aims to foster an equitable workplace free from discrimination, harassment, and retaliation. First, I would like to draw your attention to the legal framework. The UK's Equality Act 2010 enforces several provisions against workplace discrimination, covering direct discrimination, sexual harassment, and victimization. Direct discrimination refers to adverse treatment based on protected characteristics like gender or family status and includes both perceived and associative forms. Sexual harassment pertains to any unwelcome sexual conduct that undermines an individual's dignity or creates an intimidating atmosphere, irrespective of direct targeting. Victimization provides safeguards for individuals treated adversely for raising or supporting a discrimination complaint, thereby securing protection for all involved in discrimination proceedings. Now coming back to the case, one of the panel commented that mothers never stay with the company and asked Priya whether she was thinking of having any children. This is a direct discrimination, and this is a direct discrimination. And as she was shown out, one of the managers, Andy, patted Priya on the bottom, which she found very upsetting, which pertains to harassment, sexual harassment. And the third point is the Priya complained about Andy's behavior to her line manager, who told her that if she took matters furthermore, she would never get a reference if needed one. This pertains to victimizations. So the claims, Priya's claim to the employment tribunal would be in following manner: sex discrimination. The question about her plans for having children and about the children is pertains to direct discrimination, because this is a prohibited conduct under the Equalities Act 2010. And Andy's inappropriate physical conduct by Andy who constituted sex discrimination and sexual harassment as well under the Equality Act 2010. Now, when she complained about Andy's behavior to her line manager's threat of withholding a reference if she pursued the matter furthermore amounts to victimization, which is also covered under the Equality Act 2010. Now, the question comes: who Priya can sue, or who would be the defendants? Now, Speedy Bus Limited. Priya can sue Speedy Bus Limited, failing to prevent discrimination and victimization by its employees. Employers are vicariously liable for discrimination acts by their employees in the course of employment. Now, and she now at number two, she could sue individual manager. Andy's inappropriate behavior constitute direct discrimination and sexual harassment as well. Priya can sue him individually for his actions. Now coming to the sex discrimination. Equality Act 2010, specifically sections 13 and 26, which prohibited direct and indirect discrimination based on sex. Now, the case laws to support these arguments are Barnes versus Eastenders Cash and Carry PLC 2000 IRLR 263, where the Employment Appeal Tribunal held that asking about a woman's plans for having children during an interview amounted to direct discrimination. Point 2. Victimization. Victimization. Equality Act 2010, Section 27, which prohibits victimization of employees who brings discrimination claims or assist others in doing so. Case law: Naeem versus Secretary of State for Justice 2014, UKSC 29, where the Supreme Court clarified the definition of victimization under the Equality Act 2010. Third point: vicarious liability. Legal principle: employers can be held vicariously liable for discriminatory acts committed by their employees in the course of employment. Case law is Muhammad versus WM Morrison Supermarkets PLC 2016, UKSC 11, where the Supreme Court affirmed the principles of vicarious liability for torts committed by employees. Now, coming to the remedies. If Priya succeeds in her claims, the tribunal can award various remedies, which includes compensation declaration. Compensation: Priya may be awarded compensation for injury to feelings, loss of earnings, and aggravated damage due to the severity of discrimination. Declaration: the tribunal may declare that SB Limited and the individual managers unlawfully discriminated against Priya. And the other one is the recommendations. The tribunal can make recommendations to prevent future discrimination within SB Limited, such as implementing the training programs on equality and diversity. To conclude, Priya has a strong grounds to bring claims against SP Limited and individual managers for sex discrimination, sexual harassment, and victimization. If successful, she may receive compensation and other remedies to address the harm caused by the discriminatory actions. Thank you.